These are muffins, thriving in their natural habitat upon the cafe shelf. One by one, they wait patiently to be claimed and consumed. But as closing time approaches, some muffins fail to immigrate from their shelf and will meet their most vicious predator, the waste bin. Many muffins sit in fear, uncertain of their own survival. And this muffin was not so lucky. But what if the food chain was different? What if we could action something to stop waste? And thus, we have Foodprint. And with Foodprint, a muffin that is not sold by the end of the day does not find their life ended prematurely and can safely hibernate in a customer's arms for a discounted price. Many muffins shall immigrate safely, having comfortably avoided a grueling fate within the jaws of the cafe waste bin, so the muffin survives, packs their bags, boards the express, and earns another chance at life in a new habitat. At least, for the time being.
Kia ora, I'm Michael. I'm the founder of Foodprint, which is an app where you can purchase surplus and imperfect food to prevent it from being wasted. Globally, we waste about a third of the food that's produced for human consumption. It's about 1.3 billion tonnes at a cost of $1 trillion each year. So when food goes to landfill, it decomposes without oxygen and it emits the greenhouse gas methane, which is a really powerful greenhouse gas, making food waste a real big contributor to climate change. Wasting food is also a real big waste of the resources that have gone into making that food, such as the soil, the water, the land, the labour and the money. So in New Zealand, the hospitality and retail sectors waste about 50,000 tonnes of food every year. And this is sort of the food that we're trying to rescue and keep into people and not in the bin with Foodprint. So when you're using Foodprint, the eateries can list food sort of whenever they want to, and it might be food that's, they've made too much for a day, they've had a really quiet day, or it might be food that's not up to their normal sort of cosmetic standards, but is still super tasty and perfectly fine to eat. So they list the food on the app. It's always sold at a discount, and you can go into the app, search what's available and purchase in just a couple of clicks and then pop in store to collect it. So my journey with Foodprint sort of started really when I was a teenager, and I sort of started getting interested in sustainable food and looked at sort of the foodprint that we have in a sort of typical Kiwi diet. So that's about the time that I stopped eating meat to reduce my personal impact on the planet. Sort of a few years later, when I was at university, I did my summers working in Colorado in the ski resorts. And I worked as a banquet server on sort of buffet breakfasts and other events throughout the hotels. And some days we would really throw out as much food as what had been eaten. And to me, it just seemed like this absolute crazy waste. Being really aware of the environmental impacts of it, it just didn't sit well with me. But it literally was a part of my job to scrape that food in the bin every day. It seemed that a lot of my colleagues just didn't really value food the way we should. You know, it is a really precious resource and it is what keeps us alive. So, just sort of throwing it away and not seeing the value in it was really quite heartbreaking. A combination of these experiences was what led me to come home and start Foodprint.